The Pentagon just dropped $20 billion on what they're calling the most lethal fighter jet ever built, the F-47, a machine so advanced that President Trump himself said nothing in the world comes even close to it. But here's what's shocking. Each one costs $300 million. That's 3 times more expensive than our current top fighter, the F-35. Meanwhile, China's already flying their own 6th-generation fighter, the J-36, potentially leaving America scrambling to catch up. So the big question everyone's asking, is the F-47 worth breaking the bank, or are we throwing taxpayer money at an overpriced war machine? The answer might surprise you, because what I discovered about this aircraft's true capabilities changes everything we thought we knew about modern air combat. If you agree that America should maintain air superiority at any cost, type YES in the comments. Let's start with the numbers that made Pentagon officials lose sleep. The F-47's price tag is staggering. We're looking at $300 million per aircraft. To put that in perspective, that's enough money to buy 3 brand new F-35 Lightning jets, or fund an entire small town's budget for a year. The total program cost? A mind-boggling $29 billion over the next 5 years, with $20 billion going directly to Boeing for the F-47 development alone. But here's where it gets interesting. Former Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall actually paused this entire program in May 2024 because the costs had spiraled so far out of control. The price had tripled from original estimates, making military leaders question whether America could even afford this technological marvel. Yet after months of review, they came to one unavoidable conclusion. There was no other viable option to maintain air superiority in today's contested environment. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this fighter jet so expensive? The answer lies in technology that sounds like science fiction. The F-47 features what military experts call stealth plus, a level of invisibility that makes even our current stealth fighters look outdated. While the F-22 Raptor has stealth plus and the F-35 has basic stealth, this new aircraft pushes radar evading technology to unprecedented levels. Here's a fascinating detail that most people don't know. The F-35 has a radar cross-section of 0.005 square meters, while the legendary F-22 Raptor boasts an incredible 0.0001 square meters. That means the F-22 is already practically invisible to enemy radar. But the F-47, its radar signature is expected to be even smaller, making it virtually undetectable to any current air defense system on Earth. But the real game changer isn't just the stealth. It's what this fighter can do that no other aircraft in history has been capable of. The F-47 is designed as the quarterback of an entire aerial army. It doesn't fly alone. Instead, it commands over 1,000 autonomous drones that act as its loyal wingmen. Imagine one pilot controlling a squadron of unmanned aircraft, each capable of reconnaissance, electronic warfare, or carrying additional weapons. This isn't just a fighter jet, it's a flying command center. The engineering behind this drone integration is absolutely remarkable. Each F-47 can simultaneously manage multiple types of collaborative combat aircraft, including the YQF-42A from General Atomics and the YQF-44A from Anduril. These aren't simple remote-controlled planes, they're sophisticated artificial intelligence systems that can make split-second tactical decisions while maintaining constant communication with their mothership. The range capabilities tell another compelling story. With over 1,000 nautical miles of combat radius, the F-47 can reach targets that our current fighters simply can't touch without risking vulnerable refueling operations. This extended reach is crucial for operations in the vast Pacific theater, where distances between bases and targets can span thousands of miles. To understand this advantage, consider that the F-22 Raptor, our current air superiority champion, has a combat radius of less than 700 miles without external fuel tanks. Speaking of performance, this beast flies faster than Mach 2. That's over 1,500 miles per hour. But speed isn't everything. What really matters is its ability to supercruise, meaning it can maintain supersonic speeds without using fuel-guzzling afterburners. This gives our pilots a massive tactical advantage in both reaching targets quickly and escaping danger. Boeing has invested over $7 billion in developing world-leading adaptive cycle engines that offer both incredible power and fuel efficiency. Here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. The F-47's development actually solved one of aviation's biggest challenges: how to maintain stealth coatings at high speeds. Previous stealth aircraft faced a critical problem. Flying at supersonic speeds would overheat and damage their radar-absorbing material. Boeing's engineers cracked this decades-old puzzle using advanced heat-resistant coatings and innovative thermal management system. This breakthrough alone could revolutionize how future aircraft are designed. Now, let's talk about what's keeping Pentagon planners awake at night. China's J-36. This mysterious aircraft appeared in test flights just 3 months before America announced the F-47 contract. Aviation experts describe the J-36 as a tailless flying wing with 3 engines, designed specifically for long-range operations in the Pacific. The timing of its appearance wasn't coincidental. It was China's way of announcing they're not backing down from this technological arms race. Here's what makes the Chinese threat so concerning. While America is still in the development phase with the F-47, China's J-36 has already completed multiple test flights. The aircraft features an unusual 3-engine configuration, something rarely seen in tactical fighters. This setup suggests the J-36 prioritizes raw power and range over fuel efficiency, indicating China is preparing for long-distance Pacific operations. The intelligence community believes the J-36 might already be ahead of American timelines. Some analysts worry that Beijing could achieve operational capability by 2030, potentially giving them a temporary air superiority advantage in the South China Sea region. This possibility has added urgency to the F-47 program and influenced Congress to approve accelerated funding. But our Air Force isn't standing still. The F-47 program builds on 5 years of secret test flights that most Americans never knew existed. President Trump revealed that experimental versions have been flying since 2020, logging hundreds of hours and proving that American engineering still leads the world. These weren't just concept demonstrations. They were full-scale aircraft testing cutting-edge technologies that will define the next generation of air combat. The secrecy surrounding these test flights was so complete that even aviation photographers and enthusiasts who typically spot new aircraft developments had no idea these flights were happening. The aircraft were tested at classified locations with elaborate security measures, including flight schedules designed to avoid satellite surveillance windows. The maintenance revolution deserves attention too. Unlike previous stealth fighters that required extensive, costly upkeep to maintain their radar-invisible coatings, the F-47 uses baked-in stealth technology. This breakthrough means the aircraft's stealth properties are built into its structure, rather than painted on as fragile coatings. The result? Less time in the hangar and more time in the sky, dramatically improving mission readiness while reducing operational costs. Consider this startling comparison. The F-22 Raptor requires approximately 30 hours of maintenance for every flight hour. Much of this time is spent repairing and reapplying stealth coatings that can be damaged by weather, handling, or normal wear. The F-47's integrated stealth design could reduce this maintenance burden by up to 60%, meaning more aircraft available for missions and lower long-term operating costs. Let's address the elephant in the room. Are we getting our money's worth? Critics argue that $300 million per aircraft is highway robbery. Lockheed Martin, Boeing's competitor, claims their upgraded F-35 could deliver 80% of the F-47's capabilities at half the cost. They're calling it a NASCAR upgrade, taking proven technology and souping it up for modern threats. However, military strategists counter that 80% capability isn't enough when facing peer adversaries like China and Russia. They argue that in air combat, the difference between 80% and 100% capability can mean the difference between victory and defeat. When American lives are on the line, they say, there's no substitute for technological superiority. The weapons integration story reveals another fascinating aspect. The F-47 is being designed to carry hypersonic missiles internally, maintaining its stealth profile while packing unprecedented firepower. These weapons can strike targets over 1,000 miles away at speeds exceeding Mach 5, giving American forces the ability to neutralize threats before enemies even know they're under attack. The numbers game reveals another crucial factor. America plans to build 185 F-47s, the same number as our current F-22 fleet. But here's the key difference. Each F-47 will control multiple drone wingmen, effectively multiplying our air power without risking additional pilot lives. So, while we're buying fewer manned aircraft, our actual combat capability could be exponentially greater. Boeing's investment tells its own story about confidence in this program. The company spent $2 billion building new manufacturing facilities in St. Louis before even winning the contract. This massive facility spans 1.1 million square feet and represents the most advanced fighter jet production line ever constructed. That's not the move of a company unsure about their product. It's the action of a defense giant betting their future on American air superiority. The international dimension adds another layer of complexity. President Trump hinted that allied nations are calling constantly to purchase F-47s, though any export versions would be slightly downgraded for security reasons. These international sales could help offset development costs while strengthening relationships with key allies. The president mentioned that export versions might be toned down about 10% to protect America's most sensitive technologies. The economic impact extends far beyond Boeing. The F-47 program is expected to create thousands of high-paying jobs across multiple states and support hundreds of suppliers. General Electric and Pratt & Whitney are competing to provide the aircraft's revolutionary adaptive engines, with each company receiving $3.5 billion contracts for continued development. Consider the alternative scenarios. If America doesn't build the F-47, we risk falling behind China in the most critical military domain, air superiority. Every major conflict in recent history has been decided by whichever side controlled the skies. From World War II to the Gulf War, air dominance has been the foundation of military victory. The timeline pressure is real. China's rapid progress with the J-36 means America can't afford delays or cost-cutting measures that compromise capability. The F-47 is scheduled for operational deployment in the early 2030s, giving our engineers and pilots less than a decade to maintain America's technological edge. What makes this investment particularly smart is its adaptability. Unlike previous fighter jets designed for specific threats, the F-47 uses a built-to-adapt philosophy. As new threats emerge or technology evolves, the aircraft can be upgraded rather than replaced, potentially extending its service life for decades. This modular approach could make the F-47 the last manned fighter America ever needs to develop. The naming choice itself carries deep significance. The F-47 designation honors both the legendary P-47 Thunderbolt that helped win World War II and President Trump as the 47th president. It also pays tribute to 1947, the year the Air Force became an independent service branch. This symbolic connection to aviation history reinforces the aircraft's role in continuing America's proud tradition of air superiority. So, is the F-47 worth $300 million per aircraft? The answer depends on how much you value American air superiority. Yes, it's expensive, perhaps the most expensive fighter jet ever built, but it's also the most capable, bringing together stealth, speed, range, and autonomous warfare capabilities that no other aircraft can match. In a world where China is aggressively challenging American military dominance, the F-47 represents our best hope of maintaining the technological edge that has kept our skies safe for generations. Our brave airmen deserve nothing less than the best equipment we can provide. If this analysis opened your eyes to the realities of modern air power, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into America's defense capabilities. And hit that like button to support military technology coverage.